When you think of Sweden, images of an ostensibly modest social democracy spring to mind, a nation where billionaires apologize for their wealth, where ostentation violates cultural law, and where even the richest citizens drive sensible Volvos while wearing practical outdoor gear from decades past. Yes, indeed, Swedish society has perfected the art of egalitarian theatre, where discussing money ranks somewhere between public flatulence and war crimes on the social acceptability scale. However, there is one lavish district where Sweden's wealthiest abandon their humble masquerade, a secret archipelago sanctuary where helicopter rotors announce arrivals and property prices rival the world's most exclusive destination. Therefore, in today's episode of Sir Luxury Travel, we explore how Sweden's ultimate status symbol operates through calculated invisibility, where billionaires practice discreet luxury while maintaining the fiction that extreme wealth doesn't exist in the land of supposed universal equality. In Stockholm, where old money traditionally clusters around Östermalm's 19th-century boulevards and new tech wealth colonizes Djursholm's gated compounds, true social cartography requires understanding the archipelago's invisible hierarchies. The inner islands, Lidingö with its suburban mansions, Värmdö with its year-round communities, serve as mere stepping stones to genuine exclusivity. Further out, Meria attracts artists and intellectuals who mistake isolation for sophistication. Uta draws military history enthusiasts to its fortifications, but these islands remain accessible, democratic even, connected by regular ferry schedules that anyone with a 100 krona ticket can board. At the absolute edge of Stockholm's vast archipelago, where 30,000 islands scatter across the Baltic Sea like pieces of a shattered mirror, sits an island that has quietly become Sweden's ultimate status symbol. Sandhamn, literally sand harbor, represents a peculiar Nordic interpretation of exclusivity, where multi-billionaires worth more than small nations arrive by helicopter to participate in sailing regattas, yet maintain the appearance of middle-class modesty. Property fever grips the Trouville district, where 1940s modernist cottages command prices that exist only in whispered negotiations between families who've summered here since King Oscar's era. Sandhamn Segler Hotel stands alone among 30,000 archipelago islands, operating through brutal winters when ice bridges replace ferry routes, charging 2,700 kronor nightly to those who understand its significance. Property values defy conventional metrics through the new Sea Club development. 24 luxury apartments ranging from 2.7 million kronor for a 23 square meter studio to 15 million kronor for a 66 square meter unit, each requiring an additional 100,000 kronor furniture package. In this unprecedented pricing stands Mats Kastengren, chairman of Gillesvik Fastigheter AB and co-founder of SBP Credit AB, which has issued 6 billion kronor in loans since 2016. The Kastengren family represents Sweden's new money real estate dynasties, actively reshaping Sandhamn's luxury landscape, having purchased the Segler Hotel in 2019 and now developing 40 luxury summer houses in the Telegraph Holmen area. Summer transforms the island's population from 100 permanent residents to 3,000, as Stockholm's elite arrive via private boats, the journey itself serving as a filter, requiring either yacht ownership or connections to those who possess such vessels. The harbour accommodates over 400 boats across Sandhamn, Lurkholmen and Telegraph Holmen, with premium facilities including floating saunas and professional harbour staff maintaining what locals call discreet lyx, discreet luxury. Walking Sandhamn's sandy paths demands fluency in unspoken codes, where Patagonia jackets signal more status than Prada, where discussing money violates principles deeper than law. These weather-beaten facades conceal interiors transformed by Stockholm's premier architects, invisible refinements that would cost millions anywhere else, yet here remain carefully hidden from public view. Behind these modest facades lie interiors renovated to extraordinary standards, yet invisible from public view, creating a sanctuary where Sweden's most powerful families have gathered for over a century, bound by rules that emerged from a very different era. The story of Sandhamn's transformation from windswept pilot station to Sweden's most exclusive summer sanctuary pivots on a single transformative year that forever altered the archipelago's social geography. Steam engines changed everything in 1865. Suddenly, Stockholm's merchant princes could reach this remote pilot station in hours rather than days, recognizing opportunity where others saw only wind-scoured rock. Artists arrived first, as they often do, Strindberg seeking solitude, Zorn chasing northern light, establishing cultural credentials that would matter when money alone proved insufficient for acceptance. The pivotal moment arrived in 1897 when King Oscar II personally inaugurated the Royal Swedish Yacht Club's new clubhouse at Sandhamn on July 9th, establishing a royal connection that would forever distinguish this island from its 30,000 neighbors. Designed by architect Fredrik Liljeqvist, the clubhouse represented more than mere accommodation for sailors. It embodied Sweden's maritime ambitions and created an institutional framework for elite gathering that continues 127 years later. Unlike other archipelago islands that remained focused on fishing and farming, Sandhamn developed a service economy catering to wealthy visitors who valued both nature's raw beauty and civilization's refined pleasures. The Royal Swedish Yacht Club, founded in 1830 as one of the world's 5 oldest yacht clubs, had received its royal designation in 1878 and chose Sandhamn as its summer headquarters for strategic and social reasons. With over 6,000 members, including 2,500 juniors, KSAS operates as the world's second-largest sailing club, while maintaining exclusive character through sailing engagement requirements and Stockholm-centric culture that create natural barriers. The club's presence centered on the iconic 1897 clubhouse, now housing the Seglarrestaurangen, where members receive 5 days of free docking annually at premium marinas and access to facilities across Sandhamn, Lurkholmen, and Telegrafholmen. Membership remains technically open to anyone, yet the unwritten requirements, genuine sailing competence, social connections, and understanding of Swedish maritime culture, ensure the club retains its character as a gathering place for established wealth. Industrial fortunes built on iron ore and timber sought refuges that balanced exclusivity with national ideals. Sandhamn offered both through accidents of geography and carefully cultivated mythology. The 2024 Sea Club development shattered precedent, alpine resort pricing in an archipelago that had prided itself on understated elegance, marking either evolution or betrayal depending on one's perspective. Pilot cottages from the 1600s now neighbor apartments costing 15 kronor, creating a timeline visible in architecture where each era's ambitions stand frozen in wood and stone. Power had shifted from those who guided ships through dangerous waters to those who steered corporations through global markets, yet both groups understood the value of controlling access to paradise. Power brokers needed neutral ground where competition replaced confrontation. The Royal Swedish Yacht Club transformed sailing into Sweden's most sophisticated networking tool. Gotland Runt defines the apex, 250 boats racing 360 nautical miles around an island where finishing matters less than starting alongside the right people. Entry fees of approximately €1,030 seem modest, yet the true cost lies in maintaining competitive vessels and crews capable of navigating 360 nautical miles around Gotland Island in unpredictable Baltic conditions. The race village operates for 6 days, bringing together professional teams and wealthy amateur sailors from 13 nations in an atmosphere where Olympic medalists mingle with industrial heirs, united by shared maritime passion. Friday and Saturday, after-sail events throughout summer, provide networking opportunities in sophisticated settings where conversations drift between wind conditions and business ventures, all conducted within the framework of Swedish discretion. Hullberg Rassy hulls define serious intent. 69-foot blue water cruisers built for crossing oceans, not impressing harbor crowds, signaling commitment that transcends recreational sailing into something approaching religion. The Seglarrestaurangen occupies sacred ground within the original clubhouse, where Nobel laureates share tables with tech founders, all equal before wind and water if nowhere else in stratified Sweden. Marcus Wallen and Johanna Nordstrom operating Sandhamn Segler Hotel since 2020, understand this delicate ecosystem, offering after-sale summer parties that attract the right crowd while maintaining the understated elegance expected by long-time members. Chef Thomas Omphers creates exclusive chef's table experiences for groups of 4 to 12, requiring advanced booking and delivering 8-course tasting menus that celebrate local ingredients within international culinary standards. The combination of historical significance, competitive sailing, and social networking creates an environment where membership represents more than marina access. It provides entry to Sweden's most exclusive summer society. This carefully orchestrated blend of tradition and innovation, competition and relaxation, exclusivity and apparent openness had created something unique in European luxury destinations, where billionaires competed not through yacht size but sailing skill. Nordic society cultivates contradictions, egalitarian rhetoric masking concentration of wealth that would make American robber barons blush, all wrapped in cultural codes that transform ostentation into social suicide. Stefan Persson's $18 billion hide behind Ramsbury's corporate veil, the H&M heir embodying accumulation without display that defines Swedish plutocracy's peculiar dance. The Wallenberg family, controlling 40% of the Stockholm stock market, and the Rawsing family's Tetra Pak fortune represent old money that established the archipelago's culture of understated luxury generations ago. These dynasties operate within the framework of lagom, meaning just the right amount. Combined with jantelagen or jante law, cultural principles discouraging individual aggrandizement that create what researchers term egalitarian elitism. Where Mediterranean billionaires might arrive on super yachts with helicopter pads hosting elaborate parties, Swedish wealthy prefer arriving by private sailboat, wearing practical sailing gear rather than designer fashion. Even billionaires maintain traditional red wooden summer house aesthetics with white trim, connecting to shared Swedish identity rather than displaying international luxury standards that would violate deep cultural code. The unwritten rules include contributing to sailing events, maintaining privacy about others' affairs, and demonstrating genuine appreciation for nature rather than mere luxury consumption. Violations result in social exclusion more effective than any formal barrier. Midsummer weekend between June 20th and 22nd marks the absolute peak of wealthy presence, with traditional maypole raising and flowers and bubbles events at the Segler Hotel, creating carefully choreographed displays of cultural participation. The population swells from 100 permanent residents to 3,000 summer residents as Stockholm's elite arrive at family properties passed through generations like precious heirlooms rather than mere real estate. Private chef services run between 554 and 950 kronor per person, with Stockholm's Michelin-trained chefs available for villa dinners that maintain restaurant quality while preserving domestic intimacy. Exclusive services include luxury yacht charters with champagne service and private chauffeurs, yet all maintain the archipelago aesthetic rather than international hotel standards, a deliberate choice reflecting Swedish values. Winter creates natural exclusivity with dramatically reduced ferry service and weather-dependent access, leaving 100 permanent residents who are primarily entrepreneurs able to work remotely while maintaining the island through quiet seasons. Helicopter rotors announce arrivals at Bromma Airport's VIP terminal, 30 minutes to Sandhamn versus 3 hours by ferry, creating time-based segregation more effective than any gate. Private yacht charters cost 15,000 kronor for 8-hour passages through waters where GPS means nothing without local knowledge, where granite skerries lurk beneath perfect sailing conditions. Natural barriers multiply exclusivity, limited berths, weather windows, navigation challenges combining to filter access without apparent discrimination, geography accomplishing what regulation cannot. Cultural codes crack under market pressure. 227,000 kronor per square meter represents more than inflation. It signals fundamental transformation of how Swedish wealth announces itself. The Castengren family's aggressive development plans, including 40 new luxury summer houses at Telegrafholmen, signal a new generation of wealth less bound by traditional restraints and more aligned with global luxury expectations. Digital entrepreneurs blur seasonal boundaries, coding through winter darkness in cottages their grandfathers used 3 months yearly. Fiber optic cables bringing Silicon Valley to the Baltic. International buyers arrive with different blueprints, expecting service standards from St. Bart's, security from gated compounds, amenities that violate every unwritten rule about sufficient versus excessive. Tax valuations force impossible choices on inheritors, hold ancestral property while hemorrhaging kroner, or sell to buyers who'll install infinity pools where grandmother gathered mushrooms. Climate change rewrites the calendar. Sailing seasons stretching from May through October, ice bridges failing to form, year-round access threatening the natural barriers that preserved this sanctuary. The yacht club adapts reluctantly. High-tech racing attracts younger members with startup fortunes rather than industrial inheritance. Algorithms replacing intuition in navigation systems that democratize expertise. Marstrand sells accessibility with royal regattas and bridge connections. Smøgen trades authenticity for its with 30,000 summer visitors, but Sandhamn faces a different choice entirely. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. Have you heard of these wealthy parts of Sweden? Or even better, have you been there? We look forward to hearing from you. And thanks for joining us for another episode of Luxury Travel.